Megan, we might not be feeding babies anymore, but based on feedback from our baby mama listeners, they are as excited about Amara organic foods as we are.
I'm not surprised. Baby food options may have changed over the years, but the fact that parents want what's best for their babies never changes. Even though we're no longer feeding babies, we love that Amara offers delicious baby food with the most nutrition as affordably and conveniently as possible.
And in the most inventive way, their baby foods come in an on-the-go powder. You just add water, breast milk, or formula, mix and serve. This allows you to customize the texture of your baby's meal, which is ready in seconds.
You end up with a customized puree that has all the taste, textures, and nutrients of fresh purees. Pretty amazing, right?
Totally. It might sound wild, but when Amara Organic Foods founder Jessica realized that by removing the water content from fresh foods, she could retain all of their nutrients and flavor without having to boil them to death, she partnered with an infant nutritionist to turn these super powders into a less processed baby food that is 100% organic, non-GMO, and plant-based.
The most exciting part is that these powders make it possible to serve up quality organic foods at more affordable prices. Amara costs less than $2 per meal, which is less than the leading brands.
It's no wonder that Amara was voted best baby food by The Bump, Good Housekeeping, and What to Expect.
Learn more at amaraorganicfoods.com/DIJFY and get 20% off their online shop using our exclusive code DIJFY.
That's DIJFY for 20% off any purchase at amaraorganicfoods.com/DIJFY. Short for Didn't I Just Feed You?
When you find microwave recipes, there will be in the recipe power settings for the microwave. Also, guidelines depending on what wattage your microwave is. So it's important to know wattage. That information is not buried in the manual that you recycled somewhere. It is usually on a sticker inside the door of your microwave.
Welcome to Didn't I Just Feed You?
A podcast about feeding kids.
Hey, this is Stacy and Megan.
In case you missed it, this summer we're keeping short and sweet with our weekly episodes so that, like you guys, we can enjoy our summer while keeping our family well fed.
From right now through the first week in August, episodes are laser focused on solutions for quick summery meals that are delicious and get you through while managing kids at home more, being on the go more, or that camp life.
Ooh, that camp life. We're going to talk about that too. Today, we're talking about microwave cooking, but before we get into that, a quick shout out to our community. The message boards at didn'tijustfeedyou.com/community are where you can find even more information after each episode airs, as well as genius insights from the thousands of other busy home cooks who love the community as much as we do.
And if you're able to join as a supporting member, please check out that didn'tijustfeedyou.com/community. How could you forget it? It's such an easy URL to remember. And you can see all the various options that come with perks ranging from 2 bonus episodes every month to the ability to text us directly. Ooh la la. And access to our recipe archive.
I am so excited to talk about microwaving.
I know you are.
Low key, I'm a huge fan of microwave cooking, which I didn't always used to be. I think I grew up microwaving a lot of like Hot Pockets and ramen. And so there was a time in my mid-20s where we did not have a microwave and I felt really very cool about that. Like I felt like that was something important.
Yeah.
And now that we have kids and we have built-in microwaves in our last 2 houses, I'm like, yes, I love this tool. And I'm really excited to talk about cooking in it, especially for summer when you don't want to heat up your house with even boiling water. I mean, it's so hot in the South already. But what about you? We've never really talked about what's your relationship to microwave cooking.
I've always really liked microwave cooking. And I remember writing back in the day when I was freelancing for other publications. I've written for several publications about how the microwave is actually not this horrible thing that's ruining your food. It depends how you cook it. It doesn't kill nutrients. Yes, if you cook it to death in the microwave, but guess what? If you boil something to death too, you take away the nutrients.
Yes.
The nutrients seep into the water. So it's really no different. And it is so convenient. And I think I mentioned this recently. Maybe I did it. Maybe I just thought it. I'm going to mention it now. That I had this one spot in my kitchen where the microwave has lived forever, and I've always used my microwave a ton. But everybody was so crazy about the air fryer that I was like, the only way I'm going to get an air fryer is if it fits in this space, and I'm going to move my microwave downstairs to where it's less convenient but still accessible. And I put my air fryer in that place, and I'm not happy with the decision.
Oh no.
I can just switch it. It's really not a big deal.
I know.
I just need to switch it. But I realize that the microwave is really a go-to for me. Like I've tried, I'll keep the slow cooker / instant pot on the counter for a while. And I'll have seasons where I use it a ton. Then I'm like, let me get this off the counter. I want it away. The air fryer, I put in this, I gave this prime position in my kitchen. And I definitely use it and it helps me use it more, but I miss my microwave. And now, so do my kids. With older kids, the microwave is great because while Oliver feels comfortable and is willing to put in the effort sometimes to cook something on the stove, to take out a nonstick pan and scramble eggs or whatever, Isaac is like a straight up, if it ain't working in the microwave and I can't eat it without cooking, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Kind of
microwave or bust.
Microwave, raw or bust.
Yes.
So I do use my microwave often. I love it. I have a bit to say, but I think of this episode as being more of a you episode because I will admit that I do use my microwave frequently, but in very specific ways. And I don't tend to cook entire meals.
Yeah. It's funny that you feel like I'm the expert on it when we both have I wrote a story for parents and developed recipes for them for the microwave. And I feel like you've done exactly the same story, even, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. So I think I have equal expertise and it'll be really interesting.
Yeah. If we're using it the same way.
Yes. So could you top line say, what are the things you use your microwave for?
Mostly vegetable sides.
Yeah.
When I plan and I'm inspired, which is not all the time, but generally speaking, I will plan my main meal. I want to make curry tonight. I want to make shakshuka. I'm going to make chicken burgers, whatever it is. And then it's broccoli, spinach, salad. I just kind of note what it is. I don't think about the preparation. And sometimes it really comes down to how inspired I am, how tired I am, and what is available, and also how much I want to clean up. That's another big one in the moment. So I have the broccoli, and then I'm like, okay, I could braise it, roast it, air fry it, steam it. And at least half of the time during busy seasons, during the week, I just want to microwave steam it.
Yeah.
Because it's the fastest, it's the easiest, it's brainless, and it's easy cleanup.
100%.
So a lot of steaming broccoli. Cauliflower, yes, although my kids really much prefer roasted cauliflower.
Right. Anytime you get a little caramelization on cauliflower, it tastes a little better.
Yeah. Green beans, I will steam in the microwave, and that's great. I do sometimes like to steam them in the pan, like a high-sided pan, because then I'll finish with butter and I'll brown them and I like them to sizzle a little bit. But if I'm just going to straight steam them or if I'm really short on time or inspiration, microwave steaming them is great. Same with peas. Same with just plain steamed carrots that I can douse in butter and honey or something like that. And then I also sometimes it's a side, but also this can be a main or a big hefty snack, sweet potatoes and potatoes. I do in my microwave a lot.
Yeah.
And we're not being paid for this. Ever since I've gotten my any day cookware, which you introduced me to, Megan, I'm starting to do more sides in the microwave too, because a big part of microwave cooking being effective is actually cooking things properly. Because when you cook pasta in a microwave or rice in a microwave and it comes out soggy, you've saved yourself time and effort, but it's kind of a bummer. And you're like, oh, just a little bit more time and effort and I'm going to get perfectly cooked pasta. Why am I doing this? Any day kind of makes it easier.
So when I wrote this story for parents, and this was probably 3 years ago now, I talked to Sharon Frank, who is a kitchen equipment expert. She worked for Good Housekeeping Institute for a long time. And she was like hard about this. She was like, do not microwave in plastic.
Yes.
Purely from like a cooking standpoint, glass or ceramic. And when I was testing recipes for the story, I definitely found that the Pyrex bowls are great if you're going to do the covering thing. One, it helps you see how things are doing in your microwave. But also the opening of it is better for like creating that even cooking environment.
Wait, when you say doing that covering thing, what do you mean? Like saran
like
wrap
the plastic
and then
wrap,
poking the holes?
And poking
Actually,
holes.
Can we just take a minute and explain like how to do that properly for people who don't have special microwave cookware?
In general, you want to cover anything that you're cooking in the microwave. I say that in general. There are a few exceptions, like even Any Day has a tomato confit recipe that you microwave with the lid completely off because there you're trying to make something jammy. It's sort of about moisture control. So you'll kind of see unlidded is very rare. You'll see plastic covering either like completely covered. If you're trying to steam something that's long cooking, like a whole sweet potato, you might see it completely covered in a bowl or vessel. You'll also sometimes see venting. So instead of doing the like little slits in the top, like you mentioned before, you may pull back one whole corner, sort of like some frozen meals are like pull back one corner and then replace it. So you're venting in a very specific way. And then for just like general quick steaming of green beans, broccoli, etc., you want to do an all over vent, which is like what you were mentioning. Do a tight seal with the plastic wrap and then take a paring knife or the tip of your chef's knife and make 8 to 10 little slits in the top of it so it can steam.
Can I pause and say you blew my mind with the potato in a container that's covered?
Yeah.
I microwave my potatoes in probably a completely wrong way, I guess. I poke holes in them with a fork and then I wrap them in wet paper towels.
Oh, I don't do that.
I know. I'm going to do it your way too.
Wet paper towel is also like a method that I use for asparagus and corn.
Oh.
So it is a method that I use for specific things, but I have not yet used it for potatoes.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is my understanding. I'm not a microwave expert. I'm not certified in any way, but it's sort of like my understanding of how microwaves work, which is that it's not like an air fryer. It's not like a toaster oven. It's not even like your oven, which like they emit heat. The air fryer like emits heat and then it pushes it all around to cook things quickly. The microwave actually works by using magnetron to move energy through the food, which like agitates the molecules to generate heat within the food rather than just like blasting the heat around it. So I think I like vessels for big potatoes. I'm like, what are other big hunks of food that I microwave cook? Because I'm definitely not putting
beets. I was going to tell. I microwave beets.
I think, and I could be totally wrong about this, I think that I'm being purposeful in directing my magnetrons through my food and maybe creating more gentle magnetron molecule blasting.
These are the best sentences you have ever uttered on Did I Just Feed You ever. I don't know. It sounds like we're in sci-fi. It sounds like we went to, you're like, I'm directing my magnetrons. I don't know. It's very cute and it's making me very happy right now.
Yeah.
I like that you direct your magnetrons. I do that with my potatoes.
Someone's going to listen and they're going to be like, this woman is insane.
They're not.
Send me mail. hello@didn'tijustfeedyou.com.
Okay, so I have to tell you that while you're talking, I'm also, you know me, I love to multitask. Yeah. I'm looking up the best way to microwave a potato, and there are a lot of different methods. So I think, it just depends on what works for you, what you've learned. Some people say poke it and just literally put it in there. Yeah. I'm seeing others saying put it in a container. I'm seeing others wrap it in a paper towel. Very interesting.
Very
It probably also
interesting.
depends how you want your skin to come out.
And what you're going to use it for.
Yes.
Are you going to make twice baked potatoes? So do you really need it to be tender on the inside? Probably steaming in the paper towel is a really effective way to do it. Although I would argue then you could just cut it in half and it would cook in half the time and steam differently. And then I would probably put it in a vessel. But yes, and like I rarely just like cook a potato in the microwave to eat it just straight up like that. I usually am trying to cut down on the long cooking time in the oven or put it on the grill. So I'm trying to like par cook my potato in the microwave.
So I cook a microwave potato because it's how I prep sweet potatoes. My kids will just eat sweet potato. Like they'll eat sweet potato in the morning. I used to pack sliced sweet potato for Oliver. So I do like roasting sweet potatoes because you get a better caramelization and it becomes sweeter. But in a pinch, I would just microwave them and then have it on hand and like slice it up for his lunchbox with some cinnamon and honey on top.
I love that. I don't know why I never do that. I'm always like, oh, I have to roast it to concentrate the sweetness. So I'll even like par cook it in the microwave and then put it in the oven.
I mean, he loved it. I mean, he's a super sweet potato fan, so maybe it's just easier. But a little honey and cinnamon on top and he's down. Like it's great. A little butter. Anyway, but beets are another one that you can probably do. I've done beets both in a container and wrapped in paper towels when you poke them. And again, I'm seeing a lot of just poke the potato or the tuber or the root vegetable and just literally put it on the rotating dish in your microwave and microwave it like that too.
Yes. Well, we're talking about all these different methods for just potatoes. I do want to talk about like some top line things like using your microwave's power settings. I think
talk to us.
Okay. When you find microwave recipes, whether it's like, we'll link to the recipes I developed for parents, or you're using Any Day's guide, but maybe you're not using their vessels because they have a ton of like very well-tested recipes on their site. So they're a great resource. Or you're just borrowed Microwave Cooking for One from the library. There will be in the recipe power settings for the microwave. Also, guidelines depending on what wattage your microwave is. So it's important to know wattage. That information is not buried in the manual that you recycled somewhere. It is usually on a sticker inside the door of your microwave. It'll tell you the starting wattage of your microwave. And all microwaves have ways to set the power setting or change the power level, I should say. That is not like always really easy to distinguish. Like my current microwave has power levels that range 1 through 10. My old microwave had power wattage that ranged from like 200 to 1200, which was the actual wattage. But knowing how your microwave works as far as what wattage it is and how to adjust power levels will just like open up the world of microwave cooking recipes for you. And then once you've played with recipes, you'll start to have like some intuitive things where you know that you'll want to cook rice because you would cook it on a lower heat setting on your stove. Anyways, you're probably going to want to use like a medium power level for cooking rice for as long as you need to cook it in the microwave.
So smart. And I agree with you. And I started this episode by saying it's really about a little bit of accuracy around how you microwave. That's what's going to get you the best result and the result that will keep you using your microwave more. But at the same time, it's like the rice cooker story that longtime listeners will know. That's the kind of I don't pay attention to. I don't got time. Move on. I'm like, what? I'm just going to jump in and use it. But you are so 1,000% right because I have used my microwave enough and long enough that I've learned how important that is.
Yeah.
But I'm a jumping kind of gal. And sometimes I feel like I don't have time for that.
I understand. I pinky promise, I swear, money back guarantee, the money that you invested to listen to this episode, which is currently $0. For reference, it takes 3 minutes. It takes 3 minutes to know what wattage your microwave is and play around with the dials to figure out how to set your power levels.
And if a recipe doesn't give you a power level, a microwave specific recipe doesn't give you a power level, does that mean it's a bad recipe?
I kind of think so.
Great. Okay. I think we should give that guidance. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say is don't sleep on the pre-programmed buttons. Popcorn in general is a terrible one, but like the defrost or potato settings are kind of great. They've been thoroughly tested by the manufacturer and you can kind of trust them.
Yeah. And I like that my current microwave, when you defrost, because sometimes I've used microwaves where it's only like, what's the weight of the thing you're trying to defrost? I'm like, what the frick? I don't know. Like, why are you asking me these questions? Just intuit it, microwave. There are more options on my current microwave that help me figure it out more easily.
Yes.
And a lot of microwaves now also have sensors.
They do. So it's like easy for them to tell you when cooking's done or how much something weighs, how dense something is. We'll be back to hear more about this week's summer solution. But first, let's take a quick break to hear from this week's sponsors. Last year, both Stacy and I discovered Nutrafol, a supplement that supports healthy hair growth by targeting the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, and metabolism.
We've been so thrilled with the results that in 2022, we want to make sure every woman knows about Nutrafol, because as it turns out, 30 million women are impacted by weakened or thinning hair.
Nutrafol offers 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding through seasons when hair loss and thinning are normal, like postpartum and premenopausal, and all the times in between.
In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months, and more than 1,500 doctors recommended Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair.
Most importantly, Nutrafol is 100% drug-free. They use medical-grade botanicals in consistently effective dosages, so you get the most reliable results.
And major bonus, you may also notice improvements to your overall well-being, including more restful sleep, less stress, and my favorite, better skin and nails.
No matter your stage in life or whether you're experiencing thinning hair caused by stress, hormonal changes, overstyling, or some other reason, there's a Nutrafol product for you. Take their hair wellness quiz on Nutrafol.com for personalized product recommendations.
Grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code DIJFY to save $15 off your first month's subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus, get free shipping on every order.
That's $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. Promo code DIJFY. Stacy, I'm so excited to have fun with my family this summer, getting outside for hikes, bike rides, roasting s'mores over the fire pit.
Oh, it sounds like so much fun. And you know what else it sounds like? A lot of bug bites.
We do get our fair share of bug bites, and those are not fun. If even just one kid gets one super itchy bite, it can ruin the whole day, or even worse, keep them up all night. But this summer, I'm prepared thanks to All Better Co.
All Better Co. is a plant-powered first aid brand, and they just launched with their Don't Scratch That line of products, including first-of-their-kind patches and handy pens for itchy bug bites. The company was founded by 2 moms who wanted to make all-natural plant-powered topical solutions that are safe for everyday use and also powerful enough to actually work, calming bug bite irritation and inflammation.
I'll be carrying All Better Co.'s Don't Scratch That kit on every adventure this summer. Their kit includes their Don't Scratch That pen, which is made with just enough premium hemp-derived CBD to soothe the skin, making it easier for us to heal ourselves, and Don't Scratch That patches to seal in the relief and protect bites from scratchy little hands, and they're infused with soothing tea tree oil, so by the time you take them off, there's nothing to scratch.
The patches are individually wrapped for on-the-go use, but are also great for nighttime.
An added bonus is that both products don't just make the itch better. They nourish your skin with moisturizing ingredients like jojoba and coconut oil.
Used together, the All Better Co. pen and patch are a powerful duo that you can bring anywhere summer fun takes you.
Learn more about their premium hemp-derived CBD at allbetterco.com. While there, use our exclusive code DIJFY20 for 20% off any product. That's allbetterco.com, code DIJFY20 for 20% off. I want to make sure that I finish the thought about like choosing glass or ceramic
Yes.
over plastic,
Do
because
it.
I think we started getting into like the covering thing. And I just wanted to say that if you don't have Pyrex bowls, if you don't have any day or other microwave specific cooking vessels, your glass or ceramic baking dishes are also great for microwave cooking. They're nice, even, you can cover them efficiently. So if you don't have, if you're like, oh, I only have plastic of this, you probably have glass baking dishes that work in the microwave. You sort of mentioned this already, but I do think that prep is the primary thing that I use my microwave for. All the vegetables that you mentioned, pasta, rice, grains. But this school year, I got really into using the microwave for like prepping school lunches, like day of.
Yes.
Because I can quickly cook pasta, or I can cook bacon really quickly with less mess than in the oven. The prep part of it is like also in the summer, we like live outside at the grill. And so a lot of times I'm like par cooking potatoes, like we mentioned, or steaming corn, but then finishing it on the grill.
So smart.
So I just want to like, as this is supposed to be a very specific summer solution, say, the microwave is great for steaming green beans, asparagus, corn, potatoes, anything that would be like long cooking otherwise. And you should use it as a prep tool for grilling, whether it's thawing or par cooking things.
Absolutely. Do you also cook meals in your microwave?
I do.
Tell us more.
We can't have a microwave episode without talking about how Stephen King this spring tweeted his salmon recipe.
No, stop. How did I miss that?
What?
Really? I
How
have
did
no
you miss
idea.
what?
Yes, totally
Yes,
missed
I
it.
am concerned right now for you. Like, where were you?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Okay. Stephen King tweeted out his salmon recipe, which is like take a nice piece of salmon, pat it dry, salt and pepper, lemon zest, lemon juice, and then you microwave it. And he gives like the directions for microwaving it. And people were upset. They're like, that's the fastest way to ruin a piece of salmon. And I wholly disagree
I
with
do
that.
too. The one thing that I think you can cook in there is salmon.
Yes.
It's pretty hearty. And if you do it correctly, I feel like it works.
It doesn't take very long. You're essentially steaming it. And if you want to adjust the power level, you can basically like slow steam it. You know, people are all hot for the slow roasted salmon.
Yes, totally.
Or smoked salmon. And both of those are like low and slow cooking methods. So like go low and slow in your microwave. It retains so much moisture, doesn't get dried out from the oven, especially if you're like cooking it in a parcel or in a microwave cooking vessel. So microwave steamed salmon, especially on a night where it's just like Emmett and I eating salmon, because Ella doesn't really like that and Brian's traveling. That's very specific to my family. But if you're doing 1 or 2 servings versus a whole side, the microwave is awesome for cooking salmon.
And I just want to ask you, do you cook other fish in your microwave? Because salmon's the only one that feels right to me. And I think it has to do with the fact that it's an oilier fish and the flavor really holds up and the texture really holds up. I feel like flaky white fish just feels slightly too delicate and needs that like crisp side in the pan. I don't know. It just doesn't work the same for me, but it might just be psychological.
I think it's a little bit psychological. You can do whitefish. A little bit trickier to make sure you don't overcook it and have it be like kind of rubbery on the edges. So you want thicker fillets if you're going to do that. And definitely if I have skin on fillets, I am going to do them in the pan because I do want the crispy skin. But if you're just like doing it because you're making like whitefish salad, or you're going to serve it with something else that has lots of moisture, I think it's the way to go.
Like you would do like flounder fillets in the microwave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Okay.
With like some cherry tomatoes and a bunch of herbs and olive oil and like some lemon zest. Yes.
Okay.
Also, shrimp. I'll steam shrimp in the microwave all day long.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I've never done scallops, but I feel like you could. And I also think Any Day might have a recipe for steamed mussels in the microwave.
Shellfish makes sense. Yeah, like with the shell on, like mussels, clams, because anything that you can steam you can really do well in the
In the
microwave.
microwave.
The scallops, I don't know. Like a scallop without a sear on it, I don't know that I'm down with it. But
Okay.
that's a personal preference thing.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do it. I like it.
Okay.
That's what this episode's about. What else? We've covered seafood, which I think is
Yeah.
great for summer.
I also want to throw out the idea of eggs in the microwave. I think that freaks people out, and I don't actually understand why. Maybe they're worried they're going to be rubbery in some way, but like frittata style sort of casseroles of eggs are really great. When I worked at Kitchen, there was like this whole thing about, or whole method for basically making like sandwich eggs really quickly on the fly by like using a small plate, scrambling on the plate, doing a little bit of oil, and then microwaving for like a minute and 30 seconds. And then you sort of have this scrambled egg patty that's perfect to go on an English muffin. Hard boiling, I haven't had a ton of success with, even in the any day, but I know people who love hard boil steaming their eggs. So I think it's something I would invest more time in, but I just want to be like very transparent that like boil eggs on the stove.
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm going to go back to scrambled eggs for 1 second because I will say, even though I know that there's a way to not make them rubbery, there is something that I can't quite put my finger on where scrambled eggs done in the microwave are for me best when the eggs are an ingredient in something like, or have other things in them. Like if you're making a frittata and you're going to eat the frittata like on a sandwich, like I wouldn't make a Mother's Day brunch frittata in the microwave.
Fair.
But if you want to prep a frittata for quick weekday breakfast or school or camp lunches at this point in the season, fantastic in the microwave. Or something that you're going to sandwich, like eggs that you're going to sandwich, great.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think a lot of people feel that way. Oh, shakshuka, I wanted to mention.
That's on my list too.
Because that's like gentle, it's essentially steaming eggs in a tomato and broth bath, for lack of a better term, a braise, if you will. And that's really delicious in the microwave.
That is on I make very few meals in the microwave, like meals, complete meals, and shakshuka is one of them. And shakshuka is a dish, but you can also approach it as an idea where you basically are talking about a sauce and then cracking the eggs in it and cooking in the microwave. So it could be enchilada sauce that you just cook some eggs in. Maybe you add corn, maybe you don't. And then when it comes out, serve it with tortillas and sliced avocado. That's a very quick, delicious meal. It doesn't have to be shakshuka specifically.
Yes. I want to talk about like meals that are more layered, which is this idea of like, whether you're building a soup or like a pasta dish, a beef and broccoli style. It's not really a stir fry at that point, but it's a dish that you could serve over rice. There are microwave cooking recipes that require you to cook in either batches or steps. So like beef and broccoli, for example, you would build a sauce in your microwave cooking vessel, add the beef, cook that for a certain amount of time covered. So you're kind of like steam braising the beef, thinly sliced beef, and then take it out and add your vegetables, maybe some more aromatics like green onions, carrots, lots of broccoli, and toss that all with the now warm sauce and beef, and then cook it again in order to steam the veggies. Some of those meals don't necessarily save you time versus cooking them on the stovetop, but I think that they're good to know that you can do if you're like in you go to like a camp out in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, and like all there is a microwave, or
just a summer rental that doesn't have a good wok or the right size.
Yes.
Something.
And I think that they're great meals also to maybe teach your teens. I'm going to say this not for Isaac, who I know it's like he's not going to cook beef and broccoli for himself at home, even though he's microwave raw or bust. But like when he goes off to college and he might only have a microwave to cook some of his meals and he needs like late night things, it's great to know that those style of dishes exist.
Totally.
So beef and broccoli is one that I wrote for parents. You can build soups that way. You can build chilies that way. There's lots of resources for recipes that are built by layering things in the microwave, as well as like the prep stuff that we talked about.
Can we talk about pasta? Because, I'm going to not cook pasta in the microwave as a matter of course for dinner unless I have to. But I like the idea of microwave pasta for smaller portions at snack time now that I have older kids, or for them to make on their own.
Yeah.
Because even if there's no sauce, like cracking open a jar of sauce or butter and they're good to go. And that just feels like a nice filling, quick, like in between meal.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head when you said smaller portions, because I have not found a great way to like cook a whole pound of pasta at once in the microwave. No matter this, like even with the biggest capacity Pyrex bowl with a lid on, it's still like not very effective. So I think the most you can do is sort of like 8 ounces or 2 cups. And then I just cover with twice as much water. So if I'm doing 2 cups of like small pasta, then I'm using 4 cups of water to cover it. I do not season my pasta cooking water
That's
for
the
microwave
thing.
cooking.
That
It
you're
is a
not
thing.
supposed to, because it changes it affects the water temperature.
Yeah, it takes it longer to come to a
Yes.
boil, which is effectively what you're trying to do in the microwave, and so it throws off suggested cooking times, and so so you can typically end up with like very soggy edges of your pasta and uncooked, or
Yes.
like not quite cooked enough interiors if you salt your water. So I just always salt my pasta right after I drain it when I cook it in the microwave.
And it helps to put a little bit of oil, right? I mean, just like toss with a tiny bit of olive oil. Like if you don't want it slicked, if that's not part of your sauce,
Yeah.
even just a little bit of oil, like a teaspoon, and salt will help coat it with some flavor because you're cooking it without any.
Yes, exactly that. And I have found myself like through May, and like now that we're in summer, doing pasta in the microwave once a week. Not just dry pasta either, the like fresh pack ravioli and tortellini, I will also cook in the microwave for quick lunches.
Yeah, and it's great. That's like a barbecue prep thing too. You want to make like a tortellini salad or a little something extra or like a quick snack. Again, the volume is a little bit of a hindrance. Like I guess if you're having a bunch of people over, it may not work. But smaller portions for just you, for the kids, it's great.
Yeah. Okay, I know we promised we were going to keep this short and sweet, but could we talk about dessert real quick?
Yes!
Because I think people are like, there's no way you can.
I bet people have turned the corner based on the popularity of the mug cake.
Oh, that's very true.
But talk to us, because you're the resident baker.
But then they think like, oh, it's just a one and done kind of thing.
Totally.
Okay, I want to shout out a parent's recipe, which is this like hot cocoa fondue. Essentially, you're like melting chocolate in the microwave, which you know how much we love that as like a way to engage around food with kids and like have a little fun. Like melt some chocolate chips in the microwave, get a bunch of stuff out to dip in it. That totally counts as dessert and can be a fun, entertaining dessert. But if you add a little bit of like hot cocoa powder, a little bit of vanilla, some heavy cream, you can make a fondue style dip that is awesome for summer berries. It's kind of great for doing with marshmallows and graham crackers too. Pretzels. It's just like really, really fun. And that to me is being creative about dessert without having to be a baker and having to like dig for your manual and be like, how do I cook like this at a lower power level?
Love it for summer because fruit is in peak season. So just being able to dip fruit in chocolate is like so great. And it's really different than in the other seasons, to be honest.
Yeah. Caramel sauce you can also make in the microwave. Same thing, like actually caramelizing sugar and adding heavy cream to it. It's an adventure, but you can do it.
It's an adventure. Okay.
And then I'm like, oh, you make caramel sauce. You could also take those wonderful strawberries, make strawberry sauce.
Yes.
You got the chocolate sauce, the caramel sauce, the strawberry sauce. You probably know where I'm going with this.
Yes, Sundae bar,
which is such fun dessert. And of course, there are lots of like cake and brownie recipes that you can make in the microwave. I don't have any like tips or tricks for you there. Most of them do require you to look at power cooking level and be sort of exacting in the ingredients and cooking time, because every microwave is a little bit different, but they do exist. And that is a fun thing to do. It's like microwave mug cake, comes together quickly. Generally speaking, you can mix in your cooking vessel. So go straight from like mixing to microwaving to eating, which is really fun.
And I'm going to build on that to end on breakfast, because breakfast cakes, in quotes, anything that you can do like a quick little cake, you can, if you want, reduce the sugar. You don't have to. and it can double as a breakfast. And that also goes for like using Bisquick as a mix or baked oats. So just taking a little bit of flour, mixing in a whole bunch of oats, some banana, some flaxseed. And it's the same premise as like a brownie or a simple microwave cake in an 8x8 glass dish.
Oh my God. Now I'm like, you can also cook groats. You can also do quinoa and like turn that into breakfast porridge. Like it's a whole, you can do grits in the microwave.
Yes, totally.
Yes, there's so much. Okay. But we promised we were going to be short and sweet.
But we've shown the power of the microwave, that there is so much you can do. It can save you time. It can be done well. So we hope you give your microwave a try this summer. And also, we hope that you'll visit our community, because we're going to start a thread there. We're going to hive mind it. What do you guys cook in the microwave? Let us know. If you haven't already joined our community, you can join for free at didn'tijustfeedyou.com/community. Or if you want those bonus episodes and other goodies, you can join our supporting community.
You can also keep in touch with us on Instagram, where we are at Didn't I Just Feed You, or by signing up for our newsletter. Don't forget to subscribe to Didn't I Just Feed You wherever you get your podcasts, which is probably right where you are right now, so do it. And if you're already a subscriber, leave a rating or review, or share this episode with a friend who might enjoy it, who might need it. Maybe convince someone to stop being snooty about their microwave. A huge thank you to our editor, Samantha Gatzik. I'm Megan.
And I'm Stacy. Stay sane and well-fed until next week.
Be sure to subscribe to Didn't I Just Feed You wherever you're listening. And don't forget to rate and review.